Hello and welcome to Tuesday. Today we're going to be bringing something to the vlog that I've brought to the vlog in the past, but it bears repeating just for the fact that today I got several other things related to it, and they're cool and I want to talk about them. And that is Limited Run Games, which coincidentally is also the name of the company that is producing some of these games, but that's just a coincidence. We're talking about video games that get limited print runs. Now this happened back in the day. There were certainly some video games that weren't printed as many times as others. It's kind of been like that through the entirety of video game history, but I recall quite a few titles, like in the Super NES era, that were harder to find than others. Less of them were made. You could always get a copy of Super Mario World. You may not be so fortunate to get a copy of Evo or Harvest Moon, things like that. These days, the same thing is happening, except a lot of times there's companies that are doing it on purpose. They say, you know, we're going to be producing just a small amount of these games, and usually collectors gobble them up. And I am one of those collectors. We collect video games, so it makes sense for us to look for any physical releases and grab them when we can. So I'm actually bringing you guys some of those things. Now in the past I've talked about this a little bit. Fangamer actually sold some physical copies of Retro City Rampage DX. There were, I think, 2,000 copies made for PS4 and 2,000 copies made for PS Vita, and we got one of each. So that kind of thing, just so you're on the same wavelength. There's a company literally called Limited Run Games, and they are now working with some developers of like next-gen games that are only digital to help them produce a physical version, which is super cool. And I have in my possession some of those things. This is Saturday Morning RPG for the PS Vita, and if you see on the back there it says Limited Run. That is actually the company that is producing these games. So I found out about Limited Run not that long ago, and I found out that they were going to be selling the actual physical copies of these games. Now what's cool is that this is not just, oh, we put it in the PS Vita box. This like actually has a, I forget what they call it, but it has like an actual serial number for PS Vita. So like if you were trying to collect all the PS Vita games, this counts as one. And there's only like 2,500 of these, so it's kind of hard to get a hold of. But I found out they were going to be selling these, and they said, you know, we're going to be selling them on this day at this time. And it was like 10 in the morning, and obviously I was home because I work at home, and I got them, which was really exciting. So I got Saturday Morning RPG for the PS Vita, and there were 2,500 of these made. And then I also got Saturday Morning RPG for the PS4, and there were only less than 2,000 of these made. I forget exactly how many. 1980, I think is the exact number. But once again, same deal. Like this has an actual, whatever they call it. It's not ISBN, but it's like ISBN, but for PS4. So if you're trying to collect all the PS4 games, you technically need this, and there are less than 2,000 in the world, so it's a commodity. Once again, we get these because we're video game collectors. We collect physical games. I don't know how many we have at this point. I think last time I checked it was something close to like 1,400 or 1,500, and it's obviously a lot of games, but we enjoy collecting them, and we've actually collected a lot of them with your help. With your help, we finished N64. We have all of the U.S. Releases for N64, at least all the carts. Someday, somewhere down the line, we'll probably work on the manuals. I think that would be cool to have. I don't know if we'll ever attempt to get the boxes, just for the fact that that's the most expensive cardboard you'll ever pay for in your life. Not really interested in that. But anyway, I was really impressed with Limited Run. These are actual like PS Vita and PS4 cases. Everything about them is very, authentic because it's an official product. It's like if you went to the store and got it, except you had to be online, and they all sold out in about 2 minutes. But I got those, and it came with a Limited Run sticker, and also a little like postcard-esque thing. For Saturday Morning RPG, which is really neat. And once again, Saturday Morning RPG is it's a downloadable game, and Limited Run made it into a physical copy, which is cool. But the thing I'm actually most excited about is I ordered this is a little weird, I ordered a Famicom game because I found out it was coming out, and it was also going to be super limited run, so I managed to grab one, and they were actually selling these on PlayAsia. and this is called 8-Bit Music Power. And it's basically, the concept of this thing is actually super neat. It's basically chiptunes, and people have made chiptunes using the built-in sound set, or whatever it's called, on the Famicom. So you plug it into a Famicom, and there's, I don't remember exactly how many tracks, I think 11. There's 11 tracks created by different artists, and it's playing music using the Famicom's hardware. It's super cool, but they only made 1,000. So, like, there's not many of these things. And that's why I wanted it. I wanted it because it was a limited thing. But just the concept of it is actually really, really neat. So I find that really cool. But limited run games are fun. They are fun. They are not fun for anyone who tries to get one and can't. That's the only problem with them. And I know that the company, Limited Run, had said that their expectations were completely shattered when all of the PS4 and PS Vita games sold out within, I think it was like 2 minutes. So in the future, they'll probably make more. If you're watching right now and you're a collector, I would highly advise you to go over to Limited Run Games website. I think it's limitedrungames.com probably. And like sign up for their newsletter or whatever, because they will be doing more of these things in the future. They're going to be meeting with more, developers of digital games and creating physical copies of them. So if you want a chance to own some of this stuff, then you should do that. I don't know exactly how many more games they're going to be doing in the future. I don't know what the quantity is, but based on the fact that this stuff sold out literally in 2 minutes, you will have to be on the ball if you want to get that stuff. I kind of wish they would make more. I wish that more people could get a hold of them if they want them. Like, I understand that it's a game that you can always own, it's digital, but there's a lot of people that like to own physical games, and the fact that I got these, and I don't remember how much they were, but it was like maybe $20 a game, immediately after they sold out, they were on eBay for $150, $200, and it'll only ever go up from there. So that's a little aggravating, because I'm not the only collector in the world. There's other people that collect video games. And I think that if someone wants a physical copy of a game, they should be able to get a hold of it without having to spend a bajillion dollars. But anyway, so take today to talk about Limited Run Games. Not the company itself, although you can if you'd like. But talk about any games that maybe had limited runs. Maybe there's some recently that I didn't know about that you managed to get a hold of. Or maybe you actually got some of these. Maybe there's a few other people out there that got a copy of the 8-Bit Music Power. Because that's a title. I don't even remember how I heard about it at this point. I think I don't get emails from PlayAsia, but just randomly I got one, and that was advertised in there, and I was like, okay. But I'm going to stay on the lookout and try to get some other stuff in the future, and if I do, I will certainly bring it to the channel. We love collecting video games, and these are definitely, obviously hard to find now because they sold out so quickly, but hopefully we'll continue to expand our collection. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?